Baik, Tan Sri Sharifah adalah seorang akademik tersohor dalam bidang perubatan dan aktivis yang bergiat aktif mengarus perdanakan gender dalam agenda pembangunan negara. Prof, saya kena beritahu you punya education background sikit. Pendidikan awal di Sekolah Sultanah Asma Alustar, sekolah menengah di Sekolah Menengah Metodis Perempuan Kuala Lumpur dan Sekolah Metodis Lelaki Kuala Lumpur. Profesor Emerita Tan Sri adalah graduan Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery dari Universiti Malaya. Ada kelulusan Masters of Health Personnel Education dari University of New South Wales dan Doctorate in Medicine MD dari Universiti Malaya. Tan Sri bukan calang-calang orang ya. Dalam dunia akademia beliau merupakan Naib Canselor UKM. Naib Canselor wanita pertama di UKM pada tahun 2006 sehingga tahun 2013. Beliau juga pernah menjadi Ketua Jabatan Fisiologi Fakulti Perubatan UKM dari tahun 1976 sehingga 1979. Ada saudari-saudari yang belum lahir meskipun ya. Dan menjadi pengarah Pusat Pembangunan Akademik UKM di peringkat kebangsaan. Banyak lantikan kepakaran beliau seperti Timbalan Pengarah Jabatan Pendidikan pada tahun 2000 hingga 2004, Pengarah Bahagian Jaminan Kualiti KPT pada tahun 2004 hingga 2006, Ahli Majlis Penasihat Kebangsaan mengenai wanita dalam pembangunan. Tan Sri juga banyak mendapat recognition daripada luar negara ya. Perunding Distance Education Project McCord, Lembaga Persatuan Pendidikan Perubatan WHO, juga Rantau Pasifik, penerima anugerah Fred Scartz Memorial Medal for Excellence in Medical Education pada tahun 1993. Juga kalau biasa kita dengar ni anugerah ICDE-COL dari 5 buah universiti luar negara termasuklah dari Asia, Eropah dan Amerika Syarikat. Okay. Tak dilupakan, Tan Sri merupakan Presiden NCWO, National Council of Women's Organisation atau Majlis Pertubuhan Wanita Bersatu Kebangsaan bermula dari tahun 2000 sehingga sekarang ya. Dan beliau telah banyak menyumbang secara sukarela dalam bidang perubatan dan kerja sosial, termasuklah menjadi penasihat pada kerajaan Malaysia berkaitan isu-isu wanita dan gender dan memainkan peranan utama dalam maklum balas wanita di peringkat akar umbi untuk pembangunan dasar wanita negara, pindaan undang-undang berkaitan perlindungan wanita, kanak-kanak dan lain-lain. Tan Sri, it is a pleasure to have you with us this morning. Can I pose you the first question, Tan Sri?
Okay.
Okay. Prof. Tan Sri tentu banyak pengalaman menghadapi konflik dan menyelesaikannya dengan berkesan. Ya? Boleh kongsikan dengan para pendengar bagaimana persiapan diri kita yang kita perlu bawa ke meja perundingan dalam menghadapi konflik ini. Terima kasih, Tan Sri.
Conflict is not a bad thing, you know. Conflict helps us. Conflict make us look at things and improve things to become better, no? So don't always see, jangan lihat konflik tu sebagai satu perkara yang negatif, ya. If you manage it well, conflict is a good thing. Because conflict itu adalah pertembungan idea. Orang ni ada idea ni, orang ni ada idea ni. So kepelbagaian yang ada tu potensinya menimbulkan konflik. But if we handle this conflict properly, you listen because of the diversity, whatever you do, decision that comes out from a discussion that you have will be the best. Will be the best for everyone, yeah, and not for particular people. So the way you handle conflict can be between just two people, yeah. There's also internal conflict, ya. Dalam diri kita pun ada konflik, ya. But we are talking today about conflict maybe between two people or conflict di antara beberapa orang, ya. So that's my first point, to see conflict as something in a positive light. When you have people who don't agree, find out why is it that they don't agree. What is it that they don't agree about? Then what is it that they agree about? Then you can come to a better solution. A win-win solution, ya. Semua orang menang, tak ada orang kalah. That is the best solution when you are handling conflict. Tapi you kena listen lah. You must listen. Listening is the first tool, ya. To understand what's the underlying factor. Sometimes conflict ni arise. The underlying factor tu yang penting, ya. Not what they're saying, not how they're acting or showing anger ke, you know, hentam table ke. But you need to understand underlying that tu apa. Dia ada isu-isu yang kita kena cungkil. So mungkin di antara kedua ni dah lama dia bermusuhan, you know. And this is coming out even though satu idea is good. The other person will never terima because underlying ni dia musuh dah lama. So, but it's a good idea. You want it. It's good for, say, maybe your institution or your family or whatever. But because dia dah ada underlying permusuhan, they cannot see, you know, they cannot accept. So your job is to show, look, you may not agree with each other in many ways. Maybe dulu-dulu dia curi your girlfriend or whatever, there's anger, but we are all going towards this goal. You need to show that. We're going towards this goal. Here's this idea. We think we should work on this idea. We have to accept to work towards it. Forget about what you have gone through. Work for the goal. What is that goal? I think that's what I want to say about conflict, yeah. When you resolve conflict, you need to understand other underlying issues. Kadang they oppose not because it's not a good idea, they oppose because of this underlying issues. And I know a lot of you are agreeing with me, and they will say, macam mana nak resolve this? This resolution of between two people, long-standing issues yang bermula sejak sekolah ke apa ke, you know. That has to be, that takes time, yeah. Some people can help, but a lot of it has to be done by these two people, yeah, to accept each other.
Right. So kita kena work towards the objective and
Yes,
put
the goal.
our different,
Yeah.
The goal.
Put your
and,
differences aside, yeah.
Okay. All right. It's, I'm sure it's a lot of us find that easier said than done, Prof.
Betul. Easier said than done. That's why you always get a third party that's not biased.
Right.
Masalahnya, orang sekadang nak suruh resolve ni, orang tu bias juga. So not acceptable to the other party. Kalau dia nampak macam condong to one side, the other side pun tak nak terima, dia kata bias. And this happens also. Kata you nak go to katalah head of department ke, to the dean ke, but if you feel like the dean is already on bias towards the other person, you don't trust, yeah, you don't trust, and it will not be resolved. The person who's supposed to help must be really objective, yeah, so it will not condong this side or that side lah, not seen to be. Masalahnya seen to be, sometimes that person wants to be objective but the other person tak terima because dia rasa macam the history has shown that this person condong ke one side or the other lah.
Right. Baik, Tan Sri, amat berguna nasihat tu ya. Kalau boleh saya masuk ke apa tu soalan kedua, Tan Sri?
Okay.
Okay, kita dapati ada pelbagai cara menonjolkan pendapat. Personally, saya tertarik dengan cara yang bahagia Tan Sri bila address satu isu tu selalu menulis, bukan saja datang bercakap, present, ada slide preparation semua, ada lepas tu menulis secara rasmi terus kepada mereka yang berkenaan, yang will have to answer to the issue, ya. Saya tak nampak Tan Sri melibatkan diri dalam mana-mana grup atau meletakkan your thoughts in social media. Jadi saya dapat belajar daripada Tan Sri yang menulis tu amat penting ya, menulis secara rasmi dan konten tu kena betul. Boleh tak Tan Sri kongsikan macam mana kita ni sebagai pemimpin boleh menulis secara berkesan, ya? Penulisan yang berkesan apabila mengutarakan isu dan pendapat. Sebab kadang-kadang kita nak tulis tu jadi macam essay, orang tak baca kan, dua-dua masuk page kedua orang tak mau. Boleh bagi tips Tan Sri, what comes to your mind when you want to write an important document to raise an issue?
You see, you depends on what is the context, who is your audience, siapa dia ya. Okay, the way you're asking me, the audience is always somebody who can make decisions, who can decide and take action on the ideas that you present lah. Contohnya kita budget dialog ke, kita hantar dekat menteri ke, KSU ke, you know, orang-orang yang ada decision makers. So that's your audience. So that type of audience, bila you tulis issue, you must be very concise. They don't have a lot of time to read 6 pages. You already started wrong footing, you said 6 pages. Diorang ni mesti padat, short, that they will read, yeah. Maybe at the most 3 pages, at the most, yeah. Kalau bagi 1 page lagi baik. Go straight to the point, you know, what is the issue you want to address? Jangan panjang-panjang lebar, buka cerita, latar belakang, semua. Say what you want to say, and then you can give the rationale. Say first, I want you to do this. Then give the rationale why. Why you want this. Contohnya ya, baru ni masa budget dialog kan. We want to, because we have done so many things, you know. Kita buat telework lah, buat buka nursery lah, you know, for women to go back to be in the workforce, yeah. For women to be in the workforce. But still women, we don't achieve the target of 59%. We want 59% of the women to be in the workforce. But tak sampai. So what else can be done? So we actually came up with the idea, because a lot of the women don't go to work because they're doing domestic work, a lot of housework, raising the child, looking after the sick people, household chores, you know. Women do this, and then when they go to work, they come back, they're so tired. At the end of the day, they say tak payah kerja lah. Especially when tak berbaloi kan gaji dia kan. And even to get somebody to look after the child, it's not worth it, you know. So they say tak payahlah duduk rumah je buat kerja ni. So you lose a lot of educated people, don't go. So government buat macam-macam incentives, you know. So still it doesn't work. So what we started thinking, we said, look, these chores that the women are doing, they can be monetized actually. It can become an industry. People can be paid to do this, but it must be affordable, safe, affordable, accessible, so that lower income women also can access. So the way you want to bring down prices, keep the quality, is to make it competitive. So you generate and you create an industry called the care industry, where all this can be taken care of. Kan? That we know already, some already exist. Childcare, need to step up childcare, yeah. And then care of the elderly, care of the sick. You know, we must create jobs, and create the people, the services, the companies that will provide affordable services for care of the elderly, contohnya, yeah. And so what happens is, to generate this industry, you need to then train the people who will do this. So it's all tied up. So when we went to the cabinet, we said it's not just like go to Kepimpinan Wanita and ask them to do. Tak boleh, because some of it will be human resource, some of it will be Kementerian Pendidikan, some of it will go to Kemas, whatever, you know. And then the industries too, maybe SME, yang kementerian yang jaga SME dan sebagainya, ya. So we said, propose, go straight to the point and say, this is what we want you to do. We should generate this or speed up the growth of this industry in this country, and make it competitive, affordable, accessible to people, so that women can go to work. Yeah. And then we say what should be done. So that should be done to maybe another 1 page. So maybe 2 pages. So you go straight to the point, you tell them what's the issue, this is the solution. To come to that solution, these are the things that need to be done. Macam itu je, go straight to the point, concise. Jangan cerita panjang-panjang. They have no time to read this. So that's the type of audience. You can also address some issues to the public, but when it's public, you have to write differently. Also, when you give to decision makers, that must be evidence-based. Always make sure you have data, you have studies done elsewhere, studies done on this, studies done on that. You have to give them that so that it becomes very credible. They know you have done your research. You're not talking hot air. So that's, I think if you're referring to that, that's how you should address. I've seen people come thick memorandum. Dia orang tengok thickness tu pun dia orang malas nak baca, you know.
Yeah.
So even to me, you give me thick one, Allah malas. Can you give me a 1 pager, 2 pager? I will read. And if I need to, I go and find out more info, kan? But go straight to the point.
Apa ni, Tan Sri, I think there's a very good point there that when you raise an issue, you must provide solution.
Yes.
Ideas on how to solve it. Yeah.
Yes. Cannot just go and say I have this.
What are you going to do with this?
Yes, I say generate or spur the growth of the care industry. You also have to tell them how from your point of view, some of the points you think should be in, like, you know, you need to discuss with Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi, you know, because physiotherapists, occupational therapists, geriatric people, geriatric medicine people, gerontologists, macam-macam lah, kan? You need to plan the growth of the human capital for the care industry, and entrepreneurs, and spur the growth of what we call social enterprises, because these are truly social enterprises, because they answer the needs, certain needs of the people, kan? And this is the care needs. So it's a social enterprise. So we need to bring up all these ideas in the paper, so that they can say, oh yeah, this is holistic lah. Dia bukan send down to EPU saja ke, or to whatever line ministry ke, you know. But actually they need, say, a governance mechanism, which you must suggest. A governance mechanism whereby people can work together to solve this, and it can be led by one of the departments like EPU or something. So that's
I certainly have learned a lot from you, Tan Sri. Kalau saya nak beritahu pendengar, kalau saya dipanggil ikut tim Tan Sri present sesuatu, kita tak jalan lenggang-lenggang je. Kita kena ada slide preparation, and it's very concise. Only one slide, 1 or 2 slides, and then we follow up with papers. And I think this is something that we as pemimpin, semua pendengar yang dalam posisi kepimpinan, muda dan tua, this is something that we must encourage and start doing, because I can tell you it's not easy when you don't do it, and you only talk about it. Putting it in writing is tough, but it drives in exactly what we want, because we write the ideas that we put in formally what we want, and it has to have solution to the problem, and not just come with issue. Baik, we have 10 more minutes. Tan Sri, I'd like to move to the third question. Okay. Ramai yang nak tahu bagaimana yang berbahagia Tan Sri dapat mengekalkan minat yang mendalam untuk terus memimpin. Sebabnya Tan Sri saya ingat daripada tahun 70-an dah menjadi pemimpin, kan? Tentu telah melalui pelbagai onak dan duri sebelum berjaya. Jadi bagaimana Tan Sri menghadapi saat-saat yang tak berapa elok tu? Dan bagaimana Tan Sri tak mudah putus asa dengan kejadian yang tak elok tu. Because I've seen how you you know, you very diplomatic, and I think this is something, and you've maintained your enthusiasm. Tan Sri, please share with us how you managed to do that.
You mean bila ada obstacles dalam leadership?
Yeah, you don't, I don't see you falter so easily. Kalau kita ni dah macam nak give up dekat quit dah.
Because you,
and we don't want to do that anymore, you know. How do you maintain and how do you train yourself to do that, Tan Sri? And continue to wanting to lead despite the hurdles.
Yeah, because you must set your vision and your mission. If you have a goal, then if the goal hasn't gone away, you still want to do that. You may change your strategies, cara and all that, but it's still there. And you go fast or you go slow, but you still continue to do it, you know. First, I want to correct you, you know, you say in the 70s, you must understand, and you must do this, you know, because it's very important. You must make sure leadership starts from childhood, from beginning. You must already train children, the young ones, to become leaders. And you do this in different ways to make them be caring, for example, care for others. That already you show your leadership skills. So from childhood, you must. Like for me, I feel it started from childhood because I used to follow my mother, masuk kampung, pergi ajar orang kampung. My mother used to go and teach them skills, cooking. Because my mother was a very good cook. So they masuk and I used to follow. After school, she picked me up and then we will go, you know. And I used to see this, you know, and I can see how the people react and then how thankful they are for knowing things. So I think this goes on, you know, throughout, and in primary school, secondary school, you maintain that leadership, you know. Sometimes you are selected, like for me as a prefect and so on. But you can be leaders in many things in school, and it's a very exciting time. And throughout during university and when you work. So for me, the first time I see was because childcare for the female workers in the faculty. At that time, I was also having children, kan? So childcare was also a problem for me. So we decided to form a Persatuan Wanita Fakulti Perubatan. And that Persatuan was the one that developed and created the nursery for the children of Fakulti Perubatan punya staff. And we manage it ourselves. We never ask money from anybody. We just get the premises, you know, one of the houses in the hostel punya complex. And so I think that was the first work-based crèche. We call it crèche, but it was really a nursery or tadika, you know. And we took care of the children. Parents took turns to go marketing and buy, you know. Other obstacle, but they could see that it was a good goal, you know, it was to help. So that later when I was working, then I joined Persatuan Siswazah Wanita. That's when I think I started becoming more active, yeah. So I think the goal is always to do something good for, firstly, women, but also for society, you know. So that goal has never gone away. So it may take different forms, different ways of doing, you know, through Persatuan Siswazah and then through NCWO, in school as a prefect, you know. So the goal is always there. And I think until I die, that goal will be there. So if I will continue to do this, no matter what the obstacles are, you try to overcome it in various ways. But, you know, throughout the life, if you want to be a good leader, you must build your network. Network is very important. Networking with everyone, you know, not orang atas saja, orang bawah, orang tengah, peers, whatever, because these are the people who are either going to help you with ideas or help carry out your ideas through decisions, through policies, through laws, or people who are going to be assisting you in the implementation. Yeah? So this networking, understanding that you have to work with and through people is leadership. And this will never go away because That's how you do. Context may change, but this method of working will continue. And as long as your goal is there, you'll continue.
Thank you, Prof. Very enlightening. I must say you're right, because I see that you work very well with orang bawah and the rasa hormat, kerjasama, and then when we come up with kertas polisi ke kertas dasar ke, it may take long time for the government to implement, but the rakyat is already have understanding about it and want it to start, okay? Educating the public community is something that I think you have taught all of us at UKM, and I'm happy to say to you that we all feel the same way, that we should not just look at the person pengurusan tertinggi, but at all levels, yeah, Prof. We have 3 more minutes, Prof. I really want to do the last question if it's okay with you.
Okay.
Okay, our last question to Professor Emerita Tan Sri ialah, apakah harapan yang berbahagia Profesor Tan Sri untuk semua pemimpin wanita muda kita sekarang? Muda sekarang dan 60, 65 dah, Prof.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it's more than that. I thought it's
70.
Your elderly, yeah. I think 75 or something. No, I don't think it's they raised the age.
No longer 60, yes. Yeah.
To be the elderly, I mean.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
so no, I have if we just don't look into ourselves, but think of others, and I think this has to start from young. So you want to be leaders, and you should be leaders because you're all very educated. Sayang, if you don't give a part of yourself to the community. Do it in many ways. You can do. Some people go into business, they pun serve community, But you can also go into what we call third sector, which is the social sector, the voluntary sector, Doing service to others, I think is very satisfying, serving others, yeah? Not yourself. You take care of yourself, of course, but in taking care of yourself, you also give service to others. Inilah saya rasa pahala pun sangat tinggi. And it's so satisfying, when you get your PhD or your specialty degrees or whatever, you feel satisfied yourself, But if through your service you go and serve other people well through your knowledge, that is even more satisfying. And I feel all young leaders, all women, all young leaders, not just the women, please think like this. Jangan ingat diri kita sendiri saja dan keluarga kita saja. It's not satisfying. It's not satisfying. You need to do something more than that, outside. Do something. There are so many people needing us in the orphanages, the elderly, the needy, the poor, the children with problems, autism, and so on. Banyak macam-macam kita boleh tolong. Just our minat je. But when you pick one and do it well, you'll be very, very satisfied.
Wait, Tan Sri, right on dot 11:30, saya bagi pihak Pusat Kepimpinan Wanita Tun Fatimah Hashim dan semua para pendengar, saya rasa kita semua boleh bagi yang di Zoom boleh bagi reaction kepada Tan Sri sekarang, dan di Facebook Live boleh bagi reaction, whatever reaction you feel like giving. I'm going to give Tan Sri a love, and then I'm going to give Tan Sri a thumbs up. Okay, silakan. Mungkin kalau Sekretariat dah off-kan, tolong enable Tan Sri, terima kasih banyak kerana meluangkan masa 30 minit ni. Kami mengucapkan banyak-banyak terima kasih pada Tan Sri. Untuk makluman semua, Pusat Kepimpinan Wanita telah tamatkan program Kepimpinan Wanita Pasal Siswagah dan Wanita Muda 2022, dan kita akan mulakan program kepimpinan yang sama pada bulan Mac, insya-Allah. Kita ada sesi mentoring the mentor yang kita jemput Profesor Tan Sri Sharifah untuk bagi pada mentor-mentor yang terpilih. Bukan saja mentee dapat mentor, mentor pun dapat training. Because I think like Tan Sri said, and what I have learned from myself, you know, we learn from the best, yeah. And ini bukan talk saja. These are people who walk their talk, yeah. Jadi sekali lagi Tan Sri, kami mengucapkan berbanyak terima kasih atas kesediaan Tan Sri bersama dengan kami selama 30 minit. Dan insyaAllah semua nasihat Tan Sri itu akan kami praktikkan insyaAllah. Baik, terima kasih semua. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.